Hello, so today we shall be reviewing The Edge of Destruction. This story was originally broadcast on the 8th of February 1964. Long time ago. Basic summary. Something is wrong with the TARDIS, and the crew start acting weirdly with each other by trying to kill one another, which is quite funny. Soon they begin to discover that it's not each other's fault, and in the second episode the Doctor discovers that it's the TARDIS trying to tell that there's something wrong with it. So yeah, that's the plot of this, and so the TARDIS stops playing with the characters, and it's a pretty clever two-part story. This is a two-part story. Things I liked. I thought the plot of this story was absolutely brilliant. It was perfectly written. A really good, well-written story, because it was just the script as well with this plot was just brilliant. It's not a it's quite confusing, this episode, but it's not like a Stephen Moffat episode, so you know, it's not all that bad. It is, I mean, it's not really bad at all, because I've heard that this is quite a disliked story, so it's sort of, I don't know why. I think it's because it's set in the TARDIS the whole time, and there's not really a sort of a adventure to it, which is why I think it's quite disliked. But I've heard some people say that they do like it, and so that's good for them. Yeah, so the script and the realization of this story was, I think, was pretty good. You've got to admit that it was pretty good. You can't beat that. The scene where the Doctor is accusing Ian and Barbara of hijacking their ship is absolutely perfect. That is spot on. I love that scene. I can always remember and refer to that scene, because it just shows how much of a good actor William Hartnell is. Well, how all of them are, except Susan, maybe less. I liked how they used a small cast for this episode as well, because you know, it's not like the Daleks when they had loads and loads of cast, but it was just the four of them, which I think is really well. And I suppose the TARDIS is a bit of a character in a way, so 5 pretty much. So yeah, it's perfectly written. There's a scene, I think it's near towards the end of episode 2, or it might be episode 1. I think it's probably episode 2, but the Doctor, like he did in the Daleks, which was, it wasn't as short as the scene in the Daleks, but he was talking, he was leaning on the back of the TARDIS console, and he's talking to the camera, and he's explaining how the solar system works. I thought that was really, that was a really good scene, and I just think it's all quite educational in a way, because if you know, you're quite young and you don't know how a solar system formed, now you know. Things I disliked. Barbara, well, I know quite a few of the users have pointed this out, but Barbara screams at a clock, and then she gets her watch and throws it on the floor. It's quite stupid, it's quite funny. So yeah, that's one of the other things which I didn't really particularly like. It turns out that, and well, another thing is that it turns out the whole problem with the TARDIS is that a spring had come loose or something like that. So we waited all that just to realise that it was really a simple fault. They could have made it a bit, a bit better. So that's only two things which I disliked about this story. But best performance, I'll give to, I think her name's Jacqueline Hill, who plays Barbara. I think she did brilliant acting in this. Like, best acting, as it were. It's just stonkingly brilliant. I love it. Personal rating. This is my personal rating. I would give this episode a 7 out of 10. Because it is, it is a disliked story, but I think it's actually a really good story. 2-part, yeah, but they're really good episodes. But I managed to understand it on my first viewing, so I don't know if people managed to not understand it on their first viewing, but So yeah, that was my good points and bad points about this story, and I shall see you next time for An Unearthly Child. See you then.